Compelling reasons to create your family tree. In this video, I will give you 7 compelling reasons, including preserving and passing down important family stories and memories for future generations, all the way through to number 7, creating a legacy for future generations. Let's unpack each of those. The first reason, preserving and passing down the important family stories and memories, can be done in several different ways. You could create a family tree. It's a great way to document your family's history and connect with distant relatives. It helps you understand where you come from, and it provides a visual presentation of your family's history that you can share. Second, you might want to write a family history book. If you're feeling particularly ambitious, you can write this family history book over a number of years or months. It's a great way to document the stories, the memories, and the accomplishments in a way that can be shared with others in a tangible form. Another way to do it is to record oral histories. You can capture the stories and memories in voice by interviewing family members. You can then transcribe them and create a written record that you can share with others. Or maybe you could create a memory box, a great way to preserve all those family heirlooms, photographs, and other mementos. You could create a memory box for each member of your family or for specific events or milestones in your family's history, such as those that you might have for family reunions. And a really simple one, take a family photo. That might sound basic, but taking regular photos is a great way to document your family's history. We all do this. They're all on our iPhones these days or iPads. Not only do they serve as a visual record of your family's history, but of all the wonderful events and moments that you've shared with one another. So you could create your family tree, write a family history book, record oral histories, create a memory box, or take a family photo. Another compelling reason is to learn more about your ancestors and their lives, including their accomplishments, their struggles, and experiences. There are several ways that you can do this. Genealogy research is the best. By researching your family tree, you can use the various records and resources that are included in online repositories or in physical buildings, such as census, birth, marriage, and death certificates. You can access all of this information from the comfort of your own home. You can interview relatives, those who you have still living in your family have a wealth of stories to share. So do go to them to pick up on the memories they have about your ancestors. You could visit historical sites. If you are in the country where your ancestors were born, then you can visit those places through touring or exhibits, which will give insight into the historical context of your family's and your ancestors' experiences. Reading historical fiction. Now that's an interesting one. You might find actually that reading fiction, historical fiction, can fill in the gaps and give you a sense of what their daily lives might have been in the era in which they lived. And it's a fun way to learn about the historical context and the culture of your ancestors. Finally, you could join a genealogy group. This is a great way to connect with others who are interested in family history. You can learn from their experiences, and you can also share information and resources, and maybe even collaborate on research projects. Another reason or compelling reason for creating your family tree is to discover your heritage and understand your family history and background, your cultural background. It's an important thing to do and an enriching experience, and it will allow you to gain a deeper understanding of where you come from and who your ancestors were. Here's a few ways in which you might do that and reasons for digging deep into your ancestral heritage. It allows you to understand your own identity through looking at your history of your family. You get a better idea of who you are by looking at where you've come from, and you can then appreciate your own identity and place in the world. Of course, connecting with your ancestors is one of the most compelling things to do. And this can help you appreciate any sacrifices that they may have made and any accomplishments that they have in their history. Perhaps that has helped shape you. You can also appreciate a cultural diversity, especially if your family has gone through wars, epidemics, migrations, and clearances. Can help you gain a deeper understanding of their culture and traditions, and it allows you to understand their unique heritage. Expanding your worldview. Well, this is what happens when you dig deeper into historical fiction, into your family history, and when you expand your knowledge about what has come before you. It will help you appreciate the interconnectedness of all people and the role that history and culture play in shaping our lives. And finally, building a sense of community. This comes up many, many, many times. Through understanding your family history and heritage, you build a sense of community with these people. This is especially important for those people who recently moved to a new country or an area that is new to them in their own country, and maybe they have lost contact with their extended family. So discovering your heritage and understanding family history and cultural background is an enriching experience. Another compelling reason for building that family tree is to connect with distant relatives and once again build that community and sense of belonging. You'll discover new family connections, perhaps distant relatives that you never knew you had. It can be very exciting to discover these. If you've ever watched Who Do You Think You Are or other programs like that, you'll know how exciting that can be for the person researching their family history. Sharing memories and stories allows you to connect with your distant relatives. Maybe there's someone that you have back home in your home country with whom you can share letters or emails. That will give you an idea of how you can build your knowledge of your ancestors and how that distant relative fits into your family tree. Reuniting with long-lost relatives can be a heartwarming experience. If you have the chance to do that from connections with people in other countries and you can travel, think out how wonderful that experience would be to reconnect with them. And building a sense of community, once again, is the important, compelling reason why you're doing this. This really is an important way to keep touch with your family and your roots. Learning about different cultures, as I've said before, you may have distant relatives from different cultural backgrounds, and you can gain insight into those traditions and learn more about your own heritage. So do start connecting with your distant relatives as an important step in building your community and a sense of belonging. Another compelling reason is that it helps to fill gaps in your own personal knowledge and identity. By building your family tree, you can find and gain a deeper understanding of your place in the family. You can find out how people relate to you, what is the cultural background, and what about the experiences and characteristics of your own ancestors that have had impact on your own life. Finally, you can gain insight into your own personality and characteristics. Creating a family tree will allow you to get that deeper understanding of your ancestors' experiences. You may find out details about their lives that perhaps have helped to shape yours. For example, by researching and documenting your family's history, you can maybe find out about great-grandparents who were business leaders or entrepreneurs, or perhaps your great-grandparent was a community leader or had a strong sense of social justice. And that can give you an idea of how that has impacted on you. Finally, this particular reason resonates for me most as the compelling reason to build my own family tree. I'm creating a legacy for future generations, my descendants. It's a valuable resource that can help your future generations. It helps them understand their place in the family, and then they can appreciate the sacrifices and accomplishments of their ancestors. Additionally, you might want to preserve your photographs and other heirlooms in a memory box and pass that down to your family members. Your family tree is not just a collection of names and dates. It's a story of your family's experience and their cultural background. And it's a way to preserve the memories and culture of your family for future generations to remember and appreciate. So now is the time to start your family tree.